Dig excavation to desired depth. Shoring will need to be installed to secure the excavation. To install the factory resting ring, level out and compact the bottom of the excavation. Never install the vault without using the resting ring. It is alright to cut the ring to allow for sewers and other obstacles as long as it is installed under the edge of the lower section. Install the factory ring at the bottom of the excavation. Try to get this ring as level as possible. The resting ring should be installed with the shoring still supporting the excavation. Before installing the lower section, measure the previously installed ring to the surface. Use this measurement to decide if the lowest section needs to be trimmed to allow the cover to be even with the existing surface level. It is very important that the factory created end, which has been made thicker to accept the top cone, shown here, must be used when mating the upper section cone. Never use the thinner, cut surface to mate to the upper section. To do this trimming, take the overall height and subtract out the height of the cone and the height of whichever cover you will be using. Don't forget that the lower section will be inserted into the upper cone. Do not subtract the section of the cone that will overlap the lower section. The vault can be easily cut using a regular grinder with a diamond tip cutting blade. Properly remove the shoring from the excavation area. The cut surface must be installed at the bottom onto the lowest previously installed ring. Install the previously trimmed lower section onto the ring in the bottom of the excavation. This can be done from the surface easily using light straps or ropes. No adhesive caulk is necessary to attach the lower section to the bottom ring, as the ring is there to prevent the lower section from possibly sinking into the ground. Before lowering the top cone section onto the lower section, apply the adhesive caulk either to the top lip of the lower section or onto the receiving lip of the upper cone section as shown here. The top section or cone is now ready to be dropped in. This can be done easily from the surface using light straps or ropes. Use the factory installed handle on the back of the cone to stabilize the cone while lowering it and lining it up with the lower section. Once the cone is in place, measure again to make sure the vault is at its proper depth. Backfill around the entire vault using sand. The vertical ladder section can and should be trimmed along its bottom to adjust for desired length. Next, install the 2 supplied ladder kick legs to secure the vertical ladder. This is done by using the 2 supplied bolts. Attach the vertical ladder section to the factory installed ladder crossbar by installing the 2 supplied bolts. Add adhesive caulk between the kick leg pads and the inside of the fiberglass vault. To install water pipes or electrical pipes, use a hole saw slightly larger than the outside diameter of the pipe to be installed. For best results, anchor the pipe or electrical components to the inside of the vault. Use adhesive caulk inside and outside if possible. Try not to allow the pipe much movement after adhesive caulk is applied. You can use any frame and lid cover assembly on top of the cone of the vault. Fiberglass or molded plastic covers are shown here, as well as how they will look in grass. Holes and receiving eyelets have been drilled into the top of the vault to allow for 1/4-inch bolts that are 1 inch long. Another option is the camouflage cover, which when installed leaves a hidden appearance. The final look can be grass, dirt, gravel, concrete, or other landscaping material. Before adding the base of the camouflage cover, caulk around the top of the cone. For this type of cover, caulk the inside corners to create a seal. Install the grass over a dirt backfill, leaving the square top metal lip of the cover exposed to allow for easy removal. A 3 to 4 inch concrete floor should be poured at the bottom of the vault. This concrete can be used to seal off any sewer connections, pump pits, valves, or any other bottom components. Once you have become accustomed to the J-Vault installation, the entire vault, from the placement of the resting ring to being backfilled with finished grass on top, can be accomplished in about 1 hour with 3 people.